streaming live. This is KSLA News Now.
Thanks for joining us on KSLA News 12 Now at 9. I'm Ashley Graham. This is what's topping our headlines tonight. This is we had a couple of things that we want to talk about. You were just looking at a live look outside of I-20 at the I-220 hub. That's where an 18-wheeler slid off into the grass. We are going to keep monitoring this situation, but we know that across North Louisiana, the roads have been really rough, especially on the interstates. And we just urge people, if you do not have to be out there, please don't be on the roads. But if you do, just take your time and be careful and try to get off the roads as soon as you can. We have so many things to cover related to our winter storm, our winter weather that we've had over the last few days. In our top stories tonight, the state of Louisiana saw the deaths of 3 people over the weekend, each one being related to the deadly winter storm that pushed its way through the Arklatex. The latest in that of the 3 deaths reported is 86-year-old Alvin Mayweather from DeSoto Parish, and according to DeSoto coroner's office, he was found in his home dead on Monday morning, along with at least one of his pet dogs. The Louisiana Department of Health says, the cause of death was carbon monoxide poisoning.
I just would like to say, hey, if you all have generators, make sure they are properly ventilated, because we don't want the same mistake to happen twice.
Here in Shreveport, you just heard from that man's nephew just now telling us about what happened. The other 2 deaths, like I said, were right here in Shreveport. One person was found dead on Texas Street as SFD, Shreveport Fire Department. They were responding to a fire. The second person was found dead near the YMCA on Milam Street in downtown Shreveport. And the death in DeSoto Parish with the the young man or the elderly man that we just told you about, it shows why generator safety is so important during storms. And our Jeff Horchak talked with a professional about the dangers that can come along with generator use at your home when you need that alternative source for energy.
If you have a portable generator, I guess it's imperative to have these carbon monoxide detectors inside the home, right? That way, if the level gets too high, it'll shut off or you can turn it off.
Correct. You need to have a carbon monoxide detector on every level of your home. With portable generators and carbon monoxide, the scary thing is that you can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't taste it. So you may not know. You won't know without a carbon monoxide detector.
One other important tip we want you to know is to never refuel your generator while it's still running or while it's still hot. So if you do need to refuel, just make sure you turn it off and let it cool down before you refuel. And SWEPCO and other electric companies continue to try and restore power to as many people as possible as fast as possible. According to Brett Madison, the president and CEO of SWEPCO, at one point up to 70,000 people or customers were without electricity at the peak of the storm, and now it's down to just under 10,000.
And on Saturday night all the way through Sunday morning, we had about 70,000 customers out at the peak of the storm. And that was in southwest Arkansas, in Texas, and in northwest Louisiana. Now we've got about 2,100 or so customers out in Texas, a few hundred in Arkansas, and about 2,000 in the Shreveport area, and the rest are in what we call the Valley Territory, which is about mid-DeSoto Parish, down into Natchitoches and further south. So
now, there are still many people without power who are wondering when they're going to get that power back, and conditions are getting slightly better, or as they get slightly better, the crews might be able to get to your area faster. Just remember to stay off the roads as much as possible so they can make their way through. And many businesses across the area were still closed today as people were waiting for that ice on the ground to thaw so they could get around more safely. However, we did see several stores open along the Uri Drive corridor. You can see Raising Cane's, Lowe's, Target, and Kroger were some of the spots that were open in the Arklatex today. And local resource centers are opening their doors for those who need a warm place to stay after the deadly winter storm. But a few of them say that it's hard to make sure everyone knows how to find them, and they also say that sometimes the best way to get the word out is just through word of mouth about this food and electricity and water that they're providing.
checking on your relatives or checking on members that might be less fortunate, making sure that they are okay. And if they're not okay, then reaching out to one of those organizations that do have a warming center or resources. Still, the best advertisement is still word of mouth.
Morningstar and the Highland Center are two other community service locations that serve food, water, and have electricity for anyone in need. And although the storm has technically passed, the impacts are still being felt hours later. Roadways are still covered with layers of ice and sleet, and it's making it dangerous to drive on right now. Those below freezing temperatures have also made the ice from the past 2 days remain after the storm's already passed through. Now, we did get some sun a little while today, but the Texas State Department of Transportation says they don't want you to get fooled into thinking that it's okay to drive right now.
You look outside and we all get excited because we finally see the sun, right? But those roads are still dangerous. And so we need folks to know that icy patches do exist out there. There's still ice on a lot of the roads. We're getting to them as fast as we can.
Now, as well as travel in the area, it is not safe right now. TxDOT is working on those highways. They want people who are driving to be patient with those crews. And speaking of travel, Louisiana State Police, they've been working nonstop on a massive buildup on I-20. What we know right now is that hundreds of vehicles are stuck on I-20 in North Louisiana as crews try to remove 18-wheeler that slid off the road. Now, many drivers who are stuck there, they've been stuck since at least noon today. We will keep you updated as the situation develops, but for now, please stay off the roads if you can.
And that's really the best advice for everybody. Stay off those roads. We keep it a close eye on our sky cam here, looking at I-20, looking at downtown Shreveport, and it looks like a sheet of ice. So please stay home. Do not be on the roadways tonight. And also tonight, we're talking about some record-breaking cold on the way. I'll have the details next.
Now, KSLA First Alert Weather.
And we got some very cold weather on the way tonight. Those temperatures are dropping quickly as we speak. We are forecasting an overnight low tonight in Shreveport of 13, and that would actually tie the old record of 13 set way back in 1897. And the average low is about 38 this time of year, so we're going to be way below that, and in fact dangerously cold. That's the reason why we have an extreme cold warning, and this will continue all the way through noon on your Tuesday for all counties, all parishes here in the Arklatex, because again, these temperatures are dangerously cold as we head through tonight and through tomorrow morning. And also those roadways are very dangerous. Do not be out tonight if you don't have to be. It is an ice rink across most of the area. 23 right now in Shreveport. Temperatures continue to drop very quickly. 27 in Natchitoches, 27 Texarkana, 21 out towards Idabel, Mount Pleasant. You're down to about 22 degrees. And again, temperatures will continue to fall very quickly through the rest of the night. We're down to 19 degrees by midnight, down to 16 by 3 a.m. and temperatures will continue to fall from there. So we'll likely end up somewhere in the low to mid-teens for most of us. 13, that's our forecast tonight in Shreveport, and again, that would tie the old record low. 16 in Natchitoches, 17 down towards Hemphill, Marshall, Texas, 13 degrees. Even got some single digits up there in portions of Arkansas, even out towards McCurtain County, likely looking at those single-digit overnight temperatures for tonight. And tomorrow, we start off very cold, and again, do not travel in the morning if you don't have to. Those roads are going to be very hazardous, but as we get towards the afternoon, we should see some improvements. 40 degrees by noon, with some sunshine around, and then we get more cloud cover in the afternoon, but those temperatures are going to get back into the low 40s, 43, low to mid 40s actually, 43 in Shreveport, 45 Texarkana, even some upper 40s down in Natchitoches, Marshall 44 and 43 degrees in DeQueen. And then we got to talk about our next system that's going to arrive Thursday night. Now, this is another very strong cold front, but unlike the last big winter storm, we don't have any moisture for this system. So with that being said, a sprinkle or a flurry possible Thursday night, but this really not going to be a big deal as far as the precipitation is concerned. However, it is going to bring us another blast of some frigid air as we head into the weekend. So here's that 7-day forecast. Tuesday, tomorrow is still a first alert weather day because of the very dangerous icy road conditions and that very cold weather. But that first alert day will end at noon on Tuesday as those temperatures start to warm back up. 50 degrees on Wednesday, mid 50s on Thursday, so we're going to be melting away a lot of that ice on the roads, and everywhere else is going to start to melt here on Thursday. Then that next cold front comes in, and that will drop our temperatures back down to 36 for the high by Saturday. Now let's take a look at our traffic conditions here and see what's going on out there. We do have some big issues here along I-20, especially in Lincoln Parish here between Arcadia and Ruston. I've had a lot of reports on Facebook of folks still stranded out here, potentially hundreds of vehicles stranded here on I-20 as the temperature is dropping quickly. A very bad situation, and some of these folks have been stuck here on I-20 since noon, and they're not moving anywhere, I don't think, tonight. So some folks here might end up having to spend the night in their vehicles in the very cold conditions there on I-20. Is not a good situation. Take you west into Shreveport right now. Very icy roads all over the place, so don't travel. Again, I-49 is shut down from I-20 down to the Interloop Expressway there. And then we take you up northward here. Very hazardous conditions here along I-49 and 220. That on-ramp and off-ramp there is also shut down. So again, please don't travel tonight if you don't have to.
All right, thank you so much, Matt, and thank you for joining us. You can join us again right here for our next newscast at 10 o'clock tonight. And until then, you can stay connected with us right here on the KSLA News 12 app. You can download it for free in your device's mobile app store. We will see you right back here for KSLA News 12 at 10.